Check out 1, 2. Yay. Alright, cool. Let me get to my notes. You good?
Yeah, that's true.
What up, family? Brendan Eldon back on another episode of TAIOACI, the artistry of a creative, the individual's identity. So if it's your first time tuning in, listening, watching, the idea of this project is to talk to different artists and to figure out and to hear their story of how they became a creative, from their background to their culture to whatever generation they're a part of, to their mentors and teachers and life events. But we want to get the inside scoop of all of that and what made them the artists they are today. So today we have a good friend, a special guest, an inspiration to many. We have our good friend Slip. Welcome, Slip. What's going on? Okay, so spread love, inspire passion. I know that because I'm very close with Slip, but a lot of people don't know this. So explain to the people, to the family, to the friends, what is Slip? Where does that name come from? What's the history on that?
All right, so it's a funny story. It goes back to my high school days. I actually was in a crew, dancehall crew.
So this was strictly dancehall, or was it like open?
It was strictly dancehall because for some reason I went to Plantation High, and for some reason that school literally was like a plantation. Not trying to bring it up, but it's like people would have their sections, you know, like the Trinis with the Trinis, Jamaicans with the Jamaicans, you know, the cool kids over here.
Gotcha.
Like, you know, like
very
cheerleaders.
clicky,
very clicky, very cultural clicky as well, you know. But we just had a little home off home type of thing, and if you're not like really part of the culture, you probably even know what dancehall dance is. You're probably more familiar with like, if you were to go to a social gathering or if you were to go to a party or something like that, then you'll be more informed on what dancehall or the dance or the vocabulary of the dance is.
Okay.
So they had a couple dancers there. I was just, you know, like that freshman, like sophomore type of kid. And this guy was just like, his name is Omari. He's probably like in Jamaica now somewhere. I'm not sure where he is now, but he saw me. He saw like my talent, like that I had so far.
Yeah.
And you know, try to link up, and we started a little thing. So I became like second in command of this little like crew. Maybe like 4 of us. Like it was just something like so fun to do in high school, but for me it was like more serious. But I just wanted like a cool name. I wanted something to identify by. And since the name of our crew was called TDG, meaning Tech Them Gal, like, as in like the terms, you know, take their girls. So I just wanted something to kind of fit that whole theme, the whole concept.
That's really spreading love.
I mean, in the best way possible. Like, how can you not view
awesome.
that as love? You're just taking people's females. Anyways, I digress. So back in like 2010, 2011, the fashion in the dancehall scene was a lot of colors. You ever been to Hot Topic?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was the store for all Jamaicans.
What?
Yes. Funny enough, you know, it's a store for music, and a lot of people who listen to different type of music, just like graphic tees.
Yeah.
The dress code was like having like graphic tee, whatever color was on that tee, you would have shades that match that color. Your pants or your shoes, we would actually go there and buy like laces to change the laces in our shoes. We'll get those scarves, and back then we would have a scarf. You see that's around your neck, like Lil Wayne or something.
Yeah.
But we would put it in the front of our pocket, so like lay it down on our pants.
Yeah.
And that was like the little trend for like that around that era of dancehall.
Gotcha.
And I was in class one day, and I was just like, I never saw like a silk pink like handkerchief, like you take to blow your nose.
Yeah.
I looked at it, I took it, I was just like, wow, this is so soft, this is so nice. And I took another one, I just put it in my pocket because I'm just saying, okay, I didn't have one that day, so that's my style. So I was like, call me Pink Slip. You know, it's funny because like the meaning behind that at that point was the fact that when you have a pink slip, is either you get fired, or if you race cars for slips, if you lose, you have to give up your car. So my whole concept was like, hey, if you battle me, you have to give up your girl. So I was just really playing around, like having that little, fun with it. But I did transfer to a different high school. I moved like from in the Sunrise area to like more Coral Springs, and then I actually got to be able to get inside of like a dance class, because for some reason I wasn't able to get into a dance class at Plantation. And around that time, this is where the story gets like from funny to like
to
deep, oceans deep. This is where it gets really deep. Okay. So, you know, fast forward to like 2011, like I'm already in this dance class. You know, I met up with a crew that actually did more than just dance hall. Yeah. You know, they had.
Was this dance class like studio based? Was it like hip hop choreography, or what kind of?
It was studio based. It was more like jazz and stuff like that. And it was the level was very basic. So pas de bourrées, tendus, Iranajan, stuff like that. Gotcha. Just little things like.
So you have a studio training background in dance as well.
Yes.
Okay, we'll get into that stuff later. Keep going.
So I was with another crew called Kingdom Crew in high school. They were like the popular dancers in school.
I got you.
That's why I met my friend Shane.
Gotcha.
And around that time, I, got introduced to them by my dance teacher.
Yeah.
Her name is Miss Williams. She was like my best friend around that time in school. And I still had the name Pink Slip, and then they shortened it, and they were like, just drop the pink, bro. I'm just call you Slip. I'm like, all right, cool. It's just a name now. It's just a label. But as I wanted to get more diverse, because I made a point in myself that I didn't just want to like do dance hall. Like I wanted to speak to the world, so I couldn't just speak one language. I couldn't just learn English. I didn't want to just be a dance hall dancer. I wanted to speak
a universal language. Yeah,
exactly. So I needed to grab from everyone, and a lot of those people were very like originators. Like they can just take some stuff. They innovators. Mostly.
I gotcha.
So I really had to like come to terms. I'm just like, yo, why am I like, what is slip mean? Like, why am I dancing?
Yeah.
And backtracking to Plantation days, I had a friend that told me, because around that time I didn't have transportation. I would take public transportation. I was playing soccer at the time, and the thing is, it was so hard for me to maintain like late nights trying to getting home and then traveling all the way back, because I didn't move immediately when I transferred to school. So I had a period of time where things were just very, very difficult for me. Yeah. And naturally, I'm the type of person, my mind goes like this. Yeah. And when I was like really dancing, everything kind of mellowed out, slowed down. So when I was around like my crew or like my friends who also played soccer, I just wanted them to dance with me. I just wanted them to like, yo, like look at this step, look at this, And then when we finally get them to dance, finally get them to like do something, and then I started really getting to a groove, they would just stop. And I would always look at them. I'm like, guys, why do you always stop? Like, why do you always do that? Like, why aren't you guys dancing?
That still happens.
And it's like, why do you stop? And he's just like, Rick, because my close friends, because my name is Alric. Like, Rick, sometimes when you dance, we just have to stop and watch. And on this journey of trying to figure out why I'm dancing, why I can't like not think about dancing, why do I stay up at night trying to practice, I really had to think about like, yo, what is this? Why me? Like, why now? Like, I wasn't dancing my entire life, but why did I fall in love with this thing so much? What does it make me feel? Yeah. And it gave me that sense of freedom. And then going back to what he said, it just meaning that like I wanted them to dance because I wanted them to feel as free as me, because everybody has issues. Everybody has something. And if that was my way, maybe, just maybe, it could help them feel a little bit free in their day, in their regular life. But when he said that, it clicked to me after I went to the other school that it's not that I had to have everybody dance. It was the fact that I had to be dancing. And my freedom would spread to them.
Gotcha.
You know? Yeah. So...
it was like a movement inspires movement type of thing. Yeah.
So the energy that I was feeling would just transfer to them. And I just like, that's what I want to do. I just want to make people free. I just want to give that love. I just want to be able to, you know, be an example for what others can be for themselves.
Nice. And
the process of coming up with a meaning with the name was kind of funny too. I was just like, how do I dance now? I'm like, I'm just not getting into animation. A little bit of popping, and I'm just like, what? Okay, slip. Slow, leveled, intricate popping. And I'm just like, are you serious? Like,
just what? All sorts of acronyms.
All sorts of acronyms. I'm like, I even said this to myself. What if you were on an interview? What would you tell people? Like, we would just tell them, like, yeah.
What if in the future you're on this interview called TAIOACI? What were you gonna say?
Yeah, I was just gonna explain this and just be looked at. I'm just like, God, like, what's wrong with you?
God.
But eventually it just snapped, and it was just like, I was just like, I just want to inspire people, and this is my passion. I just want people to find theirs.
Yeah, you just want to spread love and inspire passion. That's beautiful, beautiful.
You know,
wow, that is like the best and longest answer of one's name.
It's crazy.
Oh man. Okay, so all right, so you're Jamaican. So you grew up there, or you grew up in Florida?
Born and raised.
So born and raised Jamaica. How old were you when you came to the States?
12.
You were 12. So you have a good 12 years of your cultural background and influence.
Yeah.
So were you dancing dance hall then, like from like legit to where you, from 12? Was that like your childhood?
It's dance hall is just like the voice of the people. So it these little social dances that they have here. Would be the same thing for us as a kid. We learn the dances as the song comes out.
It's a part of who you are.
You know, so it's just like anybody who had a rhythm could just move. And
gotcha.
I wasn't so focused on it. I was more about my academics.
So you have so that's like your core, your foundation background as far as dance hall, right? Yeah. So now when you came to the States, I'm assuming you continued that, of course. But then you said that you had other training as well. So tell us a little bit about like that area where you dove into, from like classes to influences. Let's talk about classes first. Like in the studio, where did that influence begin, and does that still exist today?
Today, if it exists, it's more so if I train at any studio that I go to, or if I'm teaching.
Got it.
For one, in classes in high school at Taravella, Miss Williams, first time I ever learned how to do a leap, like a attempt at a leap, or pas de bourrée or stuff like that, more in like the little jazz and like a little bit of ballet. And then it transferred when I went to college. I just was there for a couple of semesters. I went to BC, and I was in a dance program, and I took modern jazz. But what really helped me was when we had concerts. Like we had dance concerts for the students. Performances.
This was at Broward College, right?
Broward College.
Okay.
And Bailey Hall, what they would do, they would invite guest instructors, guest choreographers, professors from like different areas, maybe in Florida or outside of Florida, and they would come in and have auditions from the students in the dance program, and cast people to be in their piece. So even though I was taking these classes, majority of my training came from like working with these like choreographers and being on that platform, being on that stage, where I really had to embody being in a different light now, like coming out of dance hall, coming into this space where it's more about like understanding your body, understanding the space, you know, being able to transmit more than just like a upbeat energy or just like a nice groove. It's more about like sending a message through without speaking. You know.
So your knowledge and education started to really expand as far as how you see dance, right?
Yes, it started to really like grow. But even so much more, like the work didn't just like stop there. Like it was introduced on that stage, but what really helped was just like taking that classroom education, going home, and really like exploring it with my own
personally. Yeah.
My own.
So would you say kind of like interdisciplinary approach, like learning from different minds and different creatives and different teachers, like how not only did it broaden your perspective, but it made you open up as well as an artist?
Definitely.
Yeah.
It definitely expanded.
What are some examples, like some teachers that like, man, this person, they had this concept, or this person danced a certain way and it made me move a certain way?
Funny enough, Brennan Ellum. Yeah, Brennan Ellum, he actually had this.
That's me.
Or, you know, he doesn't like to go by the name Shade unless he's like coming back in the ring to battle. But,
my back hurts.
He has this thing called, well, first it was called House of Taboo, but now it's House of Drums. And I remember going there one night with one of my close friends, Vitor. He's from Brazil.
Vitor!
Yeah. Big up to wherever you are right now. He told me, he came up to me, he was like, bro, yo, I went to this session, man. Like, it was just like one light, it was like a big space, and there's like all these B-boys, and he's like, it was just crazy, it's like energy and just house music. And he's like, do you want to go? I'm like, hell yeah, let's go. And then it's just like, I arrived there with like, just remembering like I had the biggest smile on my face that I will never forget. It was just like a moment that I just felt like I've been dancing by myself for so long that now I found people that really understood like what was going on in my heart and what was going on in my mind, like on a daily basis. And I walk into a room to see like not just like a one-sided thing where it's like at my school where it was just like click up everywhere. It was just like I saw people, you know, doing windmills, and I saw people popping. I saw people just like doing house. I just saw people just being together. Yeah. You know, and that for me was just already a winner. And to go in there and just feel the energy and be welcomed. I was pushed in a circle like at the end of like my first time there, and then I just had to get the jitters out, but I felt more alive than I ever felt. And that's when I felt like, you know, wow, I think I found a family. I think I found a family.
So so from the different teachers to now we're talking about like community, but how has being around different creatives, different artists, or different people that have different approaches and movement, how has that have been an influence to you in your artistry?
Being like also in the space of drums, having all those different people, you know, subconsciously, like when you hang around with somebody enough, like you start to like pick up their habits. Like if someone is always like just saying like a catchphrase or something, eventually like if they're not around, like you'll find yourself saying that same thing. Yeah. So I was already in the mindset that I wanted to explore myself and I wanted to be more than just this one person. So being around like someone like Vitor, who was a b-boy, being around you, who was also a b-boy but a house head, you know, being around people like Shane, or even meeting up like people like Tavon or Jigs, or just different collectives of people in that circle. Yeah, just expanded my mind to knowing that there's so much more than just dancehall. Being on the stage now expanding my mind that there's so much more than just dance. So it's just this dance now is like became more so it's a tool. Yeah. But there can be something behind it. There's a message behind it. So having like different types of movement around me constantly every Tuesday, just being that, and also having my self-motivation to want to discover who I am. Yeah. And then having like this other perspective on knowing that, yo, you can do something with this movement. All of that comes into play, you know, to form like, okay, I can move this way now. So having this type of movement with my movement now, with my understanding of myself, now I can actually tell people what I'm thinking, what I'm feeling, by putting all that together.
Gotcha.
By applying what each and every platform has offered me.
Gotcha.
You know, being able to stand on a stage and emote some type of emotion that you need to feel like if you're all the way in the back of the audience, you know, or just being able to smile in front of people and be like, "How are you? My name is Slip." You know, when they come through the doors of drums, it's just like all these little things just kind of like bit by bit.
Yeah, it just kind of builds onto the character.
Yeah.
So we're talking right now about like people influencing and being an inspiration to your artistry. But now let's talk a little bit about how, from Slip perspective, what do you feel like your perspective from like a dancehall background, what has it contributed to the community, or what can it contribute to the community? Like because you dance a certain way, people will understand movement this way or understand life this way. From Slip Jamaican dancehall background, like what contribution has come into the community?
Maybe there's more than I know, but what I do know is that if, for instance, if there is somewhat remotely of a track with an island beat or just an Afro beat or just a Caribbean vibe, people add me as a connotation to that music. So even if they weren't exposed to it before, it's because I was around and sharing dancehall allow them to think of me and think of the way I dance, and it kind of wants to inspire them to move a certain way when they hear that music, even if they have no knowledge or no background in it.
Gotcha.
But speaking from now, I feel like a lot more people have adapted signature like moves to their style to help them expand.
It became a part of their vocabulary.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, and like Tavon. Tavon has always been a free spirit, and he has a lot of genres on his belt. But since we started to like really become brothers and really like dance with each other, he can literally go like a full song just doing just pure dancehall move. Now even when he does choreography, it doesn't matter what type of genre of song it is, dancehall will be a part of that choreography.
Gotcha.
You know,
because he has such a major influence of it in his life. Yeah.
And now I feel like what dancehall did for me and what it can do for the community is the fact that it allowed me to be myself.
Got it.
The motto of Jamaica is out of many one people. Out of many one people, we are one. Meaning that we have all different like ethnic backgrounds. You know, you can have Spanish Jamaican, Russian Jamaican, Asian Jamaican, whatever it is, but we all sharing the same culture. Now, with dancehall, it has these social dances that it's meant for everyone to do. So imagine everyone doing one dance, but everybody is not the same height, doesn't have the same brain, doesn't have the same fingerprint or the same heartbeat or the same personalities, but they're all doing the same step as individuals.
Yeah.
You know, so it brings that unity.
Yeah.
You know, and understanding that kind of unity, whenever you move, you have that freedom to be who you are.
Yeah.
You know, so one of my students, Katrina, she was very shy, very closed in
to herself. Yeah.
Yeah. And while she was in these other classes, you know, like she would work hard. She started to take my class. I saw her go from being here to be here. Now whenever she's in a hip hop class or another class, like her movement is so much expansive because her heart is more expansive. Her whole aura has like kind of elevated in a sense. So the energy behind dancehall, the vibes, the whole atmosphere, along with the freedom of movement, can really enhance you as just like a dancer or even an individual, you know, based on who it's coming from. But I only can speak for myself, from my experiences, that my dance is so much more about the meaning now than just a step. So if I give you a step, there has to be something behind it that I want you to learn about yourself or about life.
Yeah.
So now it really is kind of like coming in slowly into this culture where people are just so more about like this movement, this music, this vibe. Like, I don't get this on an everyday basis. I don't get this in a classroom where I can go in there and feel like I'm not being judged, or I'm not just like watching other people and like, oh my gosh, they're getting the choreography. Yeah. You know, like second guessing yourself. Yeah. Like, you're here and like we're all moving together. Like, all in these individuals. So for little things like, if you just want to be if you want to be a professional dancer, if you just want to be versatile, having any style is good. But if you just want to be free, you know, you find something that matches your personality. And I feel like dancehall now is matching a lot of people that come across me. You know, so
like even like, you know, for me in my house background, I always find that from Afro movements and watching dancehall, that there's so many similarities. And I think that's why we've always connected, because not just musically, but like movements, whether they're fast tempo or slowed down, they have such a parallel. So one thing that I noticed in your dance, like when I watch, is that not only do you bring like your own perspective, but it's a very, I like to say, progressive new age perspective. And I want to say it's because of the generation that you grew up in. So like, as far as like the influence that you've come from, what was going on in your generation that made you get into dance or influenced you to dance to where you are? Like, for example, like for me, where I was growing up, I'm from Long Island, so I'm not from New York City. So for me to grasp dance culture was through music videos. I had to watch pop music videos, VH1, MTV, BET. I had to watch those to see other dancers, and that's what inspired me. Later on, I got more involved in the concrete culture and hip hop. But for me, that was like, what was happening was that my style is more like a pizzazz show pop style, like a pop culture style, because my influence was from pop culture. Okay. So the way that you approach your dance is it's emotional, and we'll talk about that later, but you approach it where everything that you do has like a meaning, or it has this sense of like a magician, like you show it in such a presentation. And I'm just curious, what was happening in your generation or time, from movies to music videos, that was like, man, it really inspired a movement that I do?
Funny enough, while I was living in Jamaica, this is just everyday thing, like music, fashion, just the whole culture was just embedded, you know,
very artistic,
you know. But it's funny enough, I never knew what I was good at. I never knew what my talent was. I always just wanted to copy the people I look up to, like my father or my brother. But my sister was always involved in dance. So when I came here, I noticed that I wasn't the typical like kid that liked to like sit in the house and play video games and stuff like that. I would always listen to the music that she's listening to. You know, and I always keep up with the music culture. You know, whether it was just dance or just music in general.
Just like radio music.
Just the music that's going on, and just what the idea what music brings. You know, like we will know the lyrics to a song more than we know like the notes like to like our paper or something like that. So, you know, that really like brought people together, and like it's like the conversations I would hear in school is just like, yo, you heard that new track, or you heard this new stuff like that, you know.
So your culture, I mean, growing up culture was musical in general. Okay, keep going.
And that in a sense is just like, I like the fact that music controlled a lot of things, you know, based on our conversations and our moods. And me personally, music always controlled how I felt and my mood. So it wasn't like so much that I was like watching like Michael Jackson or anything like that, because the dancers were like present in my face. You know, like my sister was training right in front of me, like practicing. You know,
Yeah.
And then when I did wanted to get into dance from watching her, you know, I would watch like crews on YouTube.
Yeah.
You know, eventually, the person I watched the most, his name is Ninja White, showed up my door. You know, he knew my sister.
Oh.
He just showed up at my door. I was just watching a YouTube video. I open the door and I see him. Just like I spaz out. You know, just like, oh, wow, like, you know.
You were just on my computer screen.
Yeah, I was just trying to learn a step from you, and those people that were like influencing me, or like what was going on in my like, period of time, was just, like, were physically around me. You know, so it wasn't so much like the media or stuff like that. It's just like the immediate influences. It's like it was just like word of mouth type of thing.
Yeah.
And I just been that kid that I feel like my entire life I was like the old soul. So my mind was just always in depth, like just thinking of like what's my purpose, what's my being, and stuff like that. You know, and whenever I heard music,
things that normal 12-year-old kids will think about.
You know, and
oh my gosh,
whenever I listen to music, in an instant, it would change how I felt. The music was upbeat. I could get like this. The moment there was a trance, like my body would just form into that. So being around these people at a young age, I was actually going to clubs.
Yeah.
At 15, I was going to the clubs. So get to see the dance hall.
Yeah, you were able to experience the culture itself.
Yeah. Because even in Jamaica, I mean, I'm younger, but I'm still around these parties. But to go out to go out as like someone who's understanding now, like, you know, there's drinks around and stuff like that. That was here in South Florida, but I was going with my sisters and like these crews and stuff like that from Jamaica, from New York, from wherever, in these scenes when it was more like dominant.
Yeah.
So my what was going on was just the wave of just like how dancehall is so progressive. It's just like every single week there would be a new hit, new track coming out, new song coming out.
Yeah.
You know, the fashion would change and stuff like that. So it was just affecting me how naturally I would like be. I would want to like express myself more. I would want to like go through my closet to look for certain things to fit the dancehall attire. You know, I make sure I have the latest music, stuff like that. It was just what the trend was happening at the time.
Yeah.
I was just keeping up with it until I got to a point where I realized that I'm a rebel.
Yeah.
I don't like to follow people. So I would always try to create my own things.
Yeah.
And that same kind of idea went into my movement, went into my dance, and taking that dancehall aspect of my the freedom that I got from dancehall. I just felt like there's so much more to this raw movement than it just being inside of a party.
Yeah, that's good.
There was so much more.
So like your pioneering is taking it not just within its culture, but spreading it to not just other cultures, but like to the world and other platforms or whatever it can be.
Exactly.
That's great.
Because I saw it for what it is. It's the pureness behind it. Is you can't deny the euphoria that you get.
Yeah.
When you are truly in a space of people who are just
celebrating life.
Celebrating life.
Yeah.
You know, and I felt like, hey, if this is what's allowing me to be who I am, I also want people to see who I am.
Yeah.
You know, and there's so much things that are going on in my mind, in my heart, that I can use this to say more, but I need more words.
Yeah.
I can't just can't walk around with like 2 words.
It
doesn't
you
make
need
a sense.
Extensive vocabulary.
Exactly. So I dug deeper into dancehall. I dug deeper into the culture. I dug deeper into the history, but I also dug deeper into dance itself, and I dug deeper into understanding how people are, So pulling from all that stuff, whenever I do dance hall will always show. But whenever I do dance, if I say something while I present in a certain way, it's just like, if you have something to say, people will listen. Mm-hmm. So I would need to be able to put it out there that people will capture it. And not everyone that I speak to will go straight there.
Yeah.
You'll stand in front of 100 people, maybe 10 will hear you, and maybe 2 will need to be there, will grasp what you have to say, take it home and duplicate it in their own way.
Yeah.
But the whole environment that I was in was just family and just people that their natural ways just like applied to me, and me as just a person that I just felt like I was just this weird kid that just saw like.
So I'm curious to know that if, all right, so because not a lot of like not a lot of people, I'm not even gonna say just kids, not a lot of people get a cultural experience like you had growing up, where it's like, you know, for myself, I had to go to the city to go experience raw culture, meaning I had to travel, you know. But you grew up in this, like this was your life, like you said, like you open the door and there's this dance hall star at your door, you know, like the fact that you grew up in that. So I'm curious to know what was happening on the island that dance hall is so prevalent, or that the culture is just so strong there. Like, was there something socially? Was there something that was going on governmentally or something? I don't even know if that's a word, but in the government, that something that was going on that makes Jamaica what it is as far as that type of culture in dancehall.
And to even take that back beyond just dancehall, like for such a small island, it has such a big impact. You know, like reggae music, like Bob Marley, like he is known worldwide and for generations to come. We have the fastest man on the planet. But the thing is, it's just like with dancehall, like it started like in the late 70s, you know, and the founder or the man himself, Gerald Levy or Mr. Bogle or Mr. Waki, he started that movement where people will actually appreciate dancers. You know, you say he would actually take from people up here. The thing is, it's like he used to do disco and dances like that, but he didn't want to like be another culture. He wanted to create his own culture. Yeah. And he started to create these dances. The same way you'd have the electric slide, the same way nowadays people dab or stuff like that. Yeah. These are social dances that everybody can do. Yeah. Now what he wants everyone to dance. So if you create something that you can learn and replicate, rather than like if I was just freestyling, you can't just look at me freestyle and then learn how to do exactly what I did. Yeah. I can't even remember what I just did. So he created things to allow other people, you know, to learn that and to spread that. It's like a song. Yeah, like giving them a foundation to build off of. Yeah, right. You know, and from him came other dancers. From him, John Knight, you have Ding Dong, you have all these people that kind of like spread out through it. But dancehall has always been the voice of the people, the music. The music, you know, it goes from mento to ska to rocksteady to reggae and to dancehall, you know, and so it's always been the voice of the people. So it's just like a constant evolution of thought through expression of movement. Exactly, you know, it embodies what's going on in the country at any point in time. Gotcha. You know, mental music was. So was there like was there like a lot of separation at the time that dancehall was just kind of what brought people together? No. I'm speaking from my generation. Okay, got it. Like even starting with Mento was like more like our blues. Okay. You know, for the slaves. Gotcha. This is something that they would play. It would sing. You know, it brings that hope. The same way. For us this generation, the millenniums, we have something that unites all kinds of people. 9-to-5ers, students, school students, gangsters,
Yeah.
you know, dancers, creatives, artists,
Yeah.
regular people, all in the same
Yeah.
area, vibing off the same kind of energy. And that's the only time outside of the struggle that is going on in this country, because the government, whenever we want them to hear what we have to say, it's not a petition.
Yeah.
It's not a letter written to them. It's a song.
Hmm.
You know, there's a song that it gets to a point where it's like you can't ignore it. Like, it's that prominent that it's going on throughout the country, that now they listen that we need change, we need better jobs, better opportunities.
So music is like the power of the people.
Exactly.
You know?
It's the voice of the people.
Love it. Love
You
it.
know, so that alone in itself has always been like the same way of reggae.
Yeah.
Dancehall is just a youthful version of reggae. It's a more sporadic version.
Yeah.
You know, this is more culture. This is more us moving the people. Dancehall is more about the people moving together. If that makes any sense.
No, that's beautiful. So that idea of like the voice of the people, like I'm just assuming that like that just beautiful concept has transcended into your dance, like where it's your voice, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So like, man, okay. So if you ever get to watch Slip dance, it feels as if what makes it captivating is like I want to know what you're saying, and you approach your dance in this which is respect of like I'm going to explain something, but it's going to take a development of thought in this conversation. So it's like listening to you speak, but visually in a sense. So where does that emotion root from? You know, like for some people it's like insecurity. For some people it's like strong in thought, and I really just want people to hear me. For some people it's just this gratitude for life. But like for you just connect so emotionally to music, and you can see it through your dance. So where does that feeling come from for you?
So, around 2011, I was, see how I am. The same way I talk is the same way I dance. I love an intro.
Yeah.
It's very dramatic, but it's just more so like.
Oh, we know. Well, I know.
Hey, the world knows.
He's just getting started.
I'm just getting started. You know, it's just more so like I feel like if there's a silence in the room, you have no choice but to like do this like anticipation, where people are now prepared to like, you see that they're terrified or they're intrigued. It's like, okay, well, it's really quiet. Like, I don't know who's in here or what's going on. Or if someone's standing in front of them, but they're like very silent, but they demand your attention before. Now they're like, say, look at me. I'm quiet. It's like you're waiting for me to say something.
Yeah.
So now you're in the space to listen, to hear what I have to say.
That's nice.
You know, so this little intro is just now giving you more of like an idea of like, okay, so what's about to happen now?
Like for people to be present.
Yeah, exactly.
Got it.
That's the only way people will receive what you have to say.
It's beautiful.
So, in 2011, I was in class, and for some reason, like my phone, I was getting a call from like a Jamaican area code, and I picked up my phone. I'm just like, hello. I'm like, who's this? And it was one of my sister's friends from high school back in Jamaica, which I know him as well. But I was just like, I can't speak to you right now. I'm in class. And it's just like, no, but you really have to hear this. It's like very important. I'm like, I can't talk right now. I'm inside my classroom. And it's like, you really need to hear what I have to say right now. And I'm just like, what is going on? And he said like, your father just passed away. And I didn't think it was appropriate that he was the one to call me in class to tell me that, but just hearing that alone, I just didn't even know what to say. I just kind of said, okay. And I got up and I went to my history teacher, and I was just like, I need to go to the front office. And she was like, sit down, just sit down. I'm just like, but I need to go to the front office. I didn't really want to tell her why. I just needed to go to the front office because I can call my mom or something. and she was just giving me a very hard time. And I don't know if what was going on with her day at that point, but she just gave me a very hard time, and I just had to go to a point where I just like, my father just passed away. I just need to go to the front office.
Mm.
She's like, oh my God, go. And walking there, I'm just still not understanding like what just really happened. Like,
Yeah.
And I didn't realize I'm already at the front office, but like my parents, my mom is there, my sister's already there. Like it's just like, it's like they were the ones that were supposed to come and get me and tell me, but this guy beat me to telling me. So I'm just confused, and it's like, what is going on? And I get in the car, all this like hysterically, like everything, it just sounds like noise. Like it doesn't matter what people are saying, what's going on, if the cars are in the background, everything just sounds like noise, and I'm just in complete and utterly shock.
Yeah.
I didn't know how to take it, I didn't know how to process it, because I left Jamaica when I was 12 in 2006, and that was the last time I saw my father.
Mm.
So now I'm 17, about to be 18. 17, about to be 18. I could have went back to see him, but I was still working on my papers here.
Yeah.
But I had an opportunity to travel, but he told me that, just wait it out.
Yeah.
But I didn't know what was going on in the background. I didn't know he had high blood pressure.
Yeah.
And when I got home and they were like explaining to me, saying that they found him on his site. He was a constructor on the job site, and like he, for some reason, went down in the other room to sit down and like drank something. I came back and he was just laid out on the floor.
Yeah.
But the funny thing is, I think there was still a chance for him, but the health system in Jamaica is not that. They would just pronounce you dead. I just remember sitting in my room, just can't even like fathom what the hell's going on. I just didn't know what to do. At this point, everybody's still collapsing around me. I'm just locked up in my room, sitting at the edge of my bed, and I started to cry. And it was more like those tears that like barely came out, but as if everything was still right in my eyes.
Just coming out one drop at a time.
Yeah, very dramatically. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I just wiped my face and just got up and I started to dance. For 6 months straight, every single day. I would miss school. I would go back to Plantation because I was already going to this other school just to visit my friends, to be the people I was close to. If I was going to school, I would not be in class. I would be in the dance room with Miss Williams. She was my anchor at that point. She was like my best friend. She was to understand that I needed that time. This is a space I need to be in.
Yeah.
For 6 months straight, from dusk till dawn, there's not 1 second that I wasn't dancing. Why? Because that's how I cried. I stopped crying physical tears a long time ago. I cry. I use my dance to cry. And that's when it started to become more than just that freedom feeling. It was becoming just my everything, my breath.
What was there? Yeah.
So anything that I had to deal with, anything that I had to say, anything that was on my chest, anything that was weighing me down, or anything that I needed to let out or to let go, I danced. So the reason why there's so much emotion in my dance, there's the reason why there's so much things, it stems from the fact that I found my closure, or my way of coping with what happened through this gift. And along the way of coping, I understood that my father was the type of man that would rather me celebrate his life than mourn his death. So along with crying, every time I dance, I celebrate his life. So those two things, life and death, that's what's more powerful than that. So it's like you live your entire life and eventually you will die. So while you're on this earth, what are you going to do?
Yeah, celebrate life.
And while I'm on this earth, since he only saw me at 12, I'm becoming a man now. I want him to be able to see the man I'm becoming.
That's beautiful.
So
as one transition is ending, it's like a new is beginning, and that new beginning has to be fully celebrated and fully experienced, so that, because the song's coming to an end.
Yeah.
I mean, that explains a lot why the way you interact to music is so thorough. It's like from a beginning to end idea, and especially down, because I come from the concrete culture, which is like a song comes on and we all share it, for whatever 3 minutes that is. But it makes a lot of sense that the way that you approach music is like, no, this whole song I have to feel, and this whole song I have to express. And so the way that you approach it is like every note matters, every verse matters, every vocal matters. And you can tell by the way that you connect with it, and you can tell by the way that your body interacts with it, that like even the smallest of vibrations, like if it's an elbow twitch or a facial expression or a twitter with the feet or whatever, everything counts for you. And I think that's something that not many people grasp, is a thorough overall respect for not just the craft but the expression that they're coming from. And I want to say that respect has come from much suffering, the emotional suffering, because I think it does take an individual to come to a point of personal suffering to realize, wow, I can't take these moments for granted, because I know what it feels to be empty, to not have this, right? So, kind of putting all this together, because this is some deep stuff, like I gotta digest it. But like, so what do you aspire, with your career in dance? I mean, of course we all aspire many things, but what do you aspire for people to take away from when they experience slip?
Honestly, love. It's as simple as that. I used to feel entitled that, this is my dream, I want this to happen. I want to create this. I want to inspire this. My good friend Blaka said this to me. It was just like, when you create, you should create for other people, because if it's created by you, it's already from you. You don't need to acknowledge that it's coming from you.
Yeah.
So if I'm gonna give you love, I want you to already have it.
Yeah.
I want it to be unconditional. I'm not doing it because, hey, I did this for you, now give me the credit.
Yeah.
Hey, that's that conditioned love.
Yeah.
So whenever I do teach somebody, whenever I'm in a platform of touring or being around these people, it's not so much to have that self-praise of just being like accomplished in my craft or accomplished in my studies. It's not about that. It's the same reason why I got up from my bed that day to start dancing. It's just for hope. It's for love. And to know that I was able to do that, I want to be the example of what I want to see. So what I want to see is other people be able to come from something that's so low, and know that it's only there for them to stand so high. So if you just give a little bit of water to something, eventually it will grow.
Yeah.
So if I'm around somebody and all I do is talk about myself, you taught me this, it's just like you look in the mirror. It's like a one-sided conversation. But if you look away, sometimes you're so caught up in doing this, it's like you don't even know how to connect with people. You don't even know how to even listen to somebody else or value them, because you're so worried about yourself. So my goal, my dream, is to literally what my name says, on a daily basis, not a destination.
Nice.
Not like, okay, hey, I want to be like branded all over the place. I want to be here. No, I want to be able to walk down the street and say hi to somebody, and just because someone said hi to them with a smile, that was able to like give them just enough juice to continue working that day, or to continue knowing that, hey, yo, there's good people out there. There is good energy out there. Maybe my day is not so bad.
Yeah.
It could be worse. My simple goal is to just spread love and inspire passion, because there's nothing worse than having a gift and keeping it.
Yeah.
It was not given to me to take it and have that self-praise.
Yeah.
Because that gift is power. You know, that having that power is just like, it's like the government. It's like they have the gift of being able to give to people, to monitor things, to do all that stuff. But the power that they keep for themselves, you know, becomes that self-praise that they need. But this gift was not mine to keep, so I use this power. If I have powers, then I should be a hero, right? You think Superman cares about you telling him that he's a hero? That's not why he gets up and comes and save you.
Yeah.
Just because he knows he has to. He has to do it, and that's what is embedded in my heart from a young age. And it only took these experiences through just finding dance, finding the love of dance, the tragedy of my father, and finding people from there, and just that journey to understand what God was telling me this entire time, that I'm molding you to have the flesh or the thick skin to stand tall when you feel like you're at your weakest. And I'm gonna give you something that will not be dimmed by any means necessary. This is something that you need to shine on other people.
It's beautiful.
So I just want to be able to literally spread love and inspire passion.
That's beautiful. I heard this the other day, that one of the greatest gifts that you can give to somebody is an empty box. Meaning you give them the box and then you remind them you're not inside the box. And it's this idea where you continue to pass on the box, and you need to remind people that it's an empty box, that there's nothing inside of it. So it's like where you receive this and you realize, wow, I'm not in here. I'm free to be. And then you pass on to someone else this empty box, and they receive it and they're like, oh, well, I'm free to be. And then you keep passing it on. And that's like kind of where, for you as an individual, as an artist, when you can get to create something, you get to pass on this empty box to people, that they're not surrounded by the structure of mind, that they're more than what they put their mental blocks up to, and they receive that and they get to continue to spread. It's like that ripple effect. They have no idea where the ripples just keep going. It's so beautiful. All right, last question. Yeah. Because I always end this way, and I feel like we've already explained this, but we'll go into it anyway. With one word, all right, with one word, how would you describe your artistry? You can explain that one word, but with one word, how would you explain your artistry?
Smoke.
Explain.
You ever, it's not like I'm promoting or anything like that.
Yeah.
But I can use like a couple examples. You ever seen incense, fire, or cigarette, or anything? And you ever seen any of those burn?
Yeah.
Now, it's like I would see a movie and somebody would like have like a conversation, like maybe a boss or something, like puffing a cigar. Maybe it's in a room with no AC, nothing going on, so the smoke can actually flow. Yeah. Right? So when the smoke is puffed and blown, there is so much that is happening. When you watch smoke, it's going in these shapes, this shape, this shape, this shape, this shape, but it's constantly moving. It's constantly flowing. There's no like direction on, hey, I need to move this way, I need to move this way. There's just so much beauty inside of it that is happening all at the same time that you have to pay attention, because it will only travel for so long and it goes away. So when I dance, I want to be like smoke, to where you need to be captured from the moment the smoke is flowing until there. So like I said, the anticipation. I need you to be present, because the moment the smoke is about to start to flow, I need you to see exactly what you need to see.
Yeah.
In everything that I'm doing.
Yeah.
Because it's not just what I'm saying about myself, because what I'm saying can relate to you. So you need to be present to capture what's happening, because you will miss it. You can't blink.
Can't be slipping.
You can't be slipping. So you get that captured, and you see something within all this stuff that's going here. It's just flowing.
Yeah.
And if you pay attention, you're so enamored by what's going on. It's just like you have no choice but to just enjoy every second of it till it fades, and then another smoke comes.
That's beautiful. I did not expect that one at all. Oh man. Okay, so how can people get in contact with you? How can they follow your work, like social media?
All my social media is on my Facebook. It's Alric Slip White. My YouTube is Alric Slip White. My Instagram is @SlipDance. My Twitter is @PKWhite94. My email is slipdance13@gmail.com. Actually, I'm just not really recently starting to update my YouTube, but majority of the time I'm just on Instagram.
Got it. Okay.
I'm just on Instagram.
So the main hub right now for people to contact you is through Instagram, right?
Instagram
now.
or my.
Okay. So that's @SlipDance.
Yes.
Okay.
Or if like any type of booking, any type of like further information other than just like trying to follow like videos and stuff like that, just email me. Or
awesome.
Even send me a DM. Like I'm not the type to just look at your message and I will read it. Like if I have the chance to read it, I'll read it. I'll respond to you. And yeah,
that's awesome.
That's pretty much it.
Man, that was a riveting conversation.
Riveting.
Depth, deeper than deep. That was so good. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode with Alric Slip White, aka Spread Love, Inspire Passion, the man himself.
Yes.
Get in contact with this guy. Watch his stuff. I promise you, it will be an experience in itself. He teaches all around. You can book him. You can see him in multiple platforms all around the world. Now I'm like, where are you? And I have to contact him and be like, are you in Florida right now? But man, so proud of this guy. Get in contact with him. Once again, thank you, Slip.
Thank you. And I also just want to wrap up with this. I personally want to thank you for being one of the biggest influences by creating a space that allowed me to find the pieces that I need to like fit to the puzzle that I'm still building at this moment, and being a mentor to me, being a brother to me, and being my family. So this project, I hope like so much people see it, because like it starts right here in your living room, the
boom
with the Ninja Turtles.
That's it.
But yeah,
I paid him to say that.
It starts right here. But
oh man,
it can only grow from here, because you always have given people the platform to be who they are, and that has also inspired me to continue my movement in my way.
Word.
So I appreciate you and I love you.
Love you, bro. All right, guys. See you guys soon. Thanks again. Peace. That was so good, bro. Oh my gosh. Wait, help me make sure I press the stop button correctly.